Sabra Papa for NutritiousAmerica.com, and this is my kale obsession. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a kale salad with white balsamic and ricotta, or ricotta, however you want to say it. We're going to start by making the dressing. So I have in this little bowl 1 chopped shallot. This is a super easy dressing, and once you make this, you will never go back to that bottled variety that you buy in the store. You will just always make this. So I'm going to put in about 1 spoonful of raw honey. Raw honey has not been processed, so it has all of its wonderful bacteria intact, which means it's antibacterial and it just supports your body's system. So 1 spoonful of raw honey, and then I have white balsamic vinegar, which is lovely because it has the sweetness and the sharpness of balsamic dark, but not quite as sharp, which is perfect for this. Then you just want to break that honey up. I'm using my all-time favorite kitchen tool, which is the world's smallest whisk. Isn't it cute? So I'm just going to whisk that together. You need a good amount of black pepper. And just for a little bit more acid, but a different variety of acid, we'll do some citrus, 1/2 of a lemon. Okay. Whisk that. This was 1/3 a cup of white balsamic vinegar, and then I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. And I'll just drizzle that in. Now this is enough dressing to last you a long time. It will keep in the refrigerator for 5 to 7 days without a problem, and it's delicious. Okay, so I'm actually going to add that to my kale right now because what we're using today is raw kale. And raw kale is so jam-packed with nutrients, and all those nutrients are intact because we haven't cooked it. So I'm going to add this dressing to the kale just to let these kale leaves soften a little bit. And I'll probably put in, I don't know, maybe the equivalent of 3 to 4 tablespoons. Honestly, it's kind of up to you. This will be enough for 3 people. This will serve 3 people. And I'm spooning it because I want to make sure I get a good amount of those shallots, because that's key in this recipe. Okay, then we're going to toss that together. The kale I have washed, ripped from the stems, and I made little ribbons, a little chiffon out of the kale. So I just rolled it up into a cigar-like shape and chopped it to make nice ribbons. Okay, we're going to let this kale sit. You can see it's already starting to break down, which is what I want. I want it to be nice and tender and well-dressed. Okay, now brace yourself. The nutritionist is using bacon. So I have 2 tablespoons of bacon. And here's the thing, this is very high quality, organic, uncured bacon. I have no problem using bacon because it's the dose that makes the poison. So a little bit of bacon is fine. A lot of bacon, not so much. But the bacon in this recipe is really wonderful. It adds this unctuous, fat, salty deliciousness, and frankly, who doesn't like bacon? And I'm okay with that. The next is pear, and pear just pairs well with the bacon and our next famous ingredient. So I'm just going to literally like cut the cheeks off of the pear. And then slice the pear. I'm going to add that to the kale and the bacon. Let me give you a little kale fact, since it's all about the kale. It's not at all about the bacon. It's a little bit about the pear. Kale is jam-packed with calcium, which I think is really important to mention because when people think of calcium, they always think they need to get calcium from a dairy source. Dark leafy greens are a wonderful way to get calcium into your diet without having to consume dairy. Not that there's a problem with dairy, but add some dark leafy greens in. As a matter of fact, if you think about cows and elephants that are really strong-boned animals, they don't drink milk. They eat greens. That's where they're getting their calcium from. Okay, so here's my salad. Now this is the finishing touch. This is ricotta salata. It's an aged ricotta cheese, and I'm literally just gonna let it snow. So I have a microplane grater, and I'm just gonna grate this on top. It's snowing. I love it. This is a fantastic holiday salad. It is so rich in flavor. There's a beautiful balance between the pear and the bacon and the ricotta salata, and you're going to do really well to your guests because you're giving them kale. So here we are, how to make a kale salad with white balsamic and ricotta. I'm Abra Papa from NutritiousAmerica.com. Eat your greens and have a delicious day.